mean, I've built models of a Lancia Delta HF Martini before. How hard can it be? It's just like a big airfix kit, surely. That's all there is to it. Money no object. Say you won the lottery, what car would you buy? It's quite a common question for the social networks, quite a common question for down the pub. The answer I always give is I would give Ferraris and such like that a swerve. I wouldn't buy a supercar. What I would buy is a rally car, or a car that made its history in rallying. Particularly something like a Lancia Delta S4. Money no object. I would have one of the X-Works Integrale Evolutions, or I would have one of the original HF four-wheel drive. Might have a Stratos or an 037. I would buy a Lancia rally car, but I'm not a lottery winner. I haven't inherited millions of pounds, so I'm gonna have to build my own. So on the basis that lottery tickets are a couple of quid a week, we're talking absolute shoestring. Can it be done? Well, I've rebuilt a few cars in my time, and I've amassed a collection of various tools, many of them second hand, and I've also, over the last 20 or so years, got various skills from preparing rally cars and rebuilding classic cars. So hopefully the answer to that's yes. I had 650 quid and I managed to buy this thing. Let me show you around. It's an absolute wreck. So this is the car that we're starting from. It's a 1988 Delta HF Turbo, and it's in Rosso Monza. As you can see, it's got the Momo steering wheel, which is lovely and green and mouldy, and it's got the sparkle pedals. Look, they're all green and mouldy as well. In fact, the whole car is distinctly green and mouldy. As you can see, the front end isn't fitted, the glass isn't fitted, there's no dashboard, there's no wiring loom, nothing. But I am determined to make this into my dream Lancia Delta. So let me talk you through what we're going to do this episode, and then what the hope is to do with the whole car. A while ago I managed to buy this Delta for £400, which does have glass and does have an interior and does have wiring loom and all the stuff we should need to make my HF back into a road car. This is just a 1.3 and it's a non-runner. The engine's sort of half disassembled. The bodywork's in terrible condition, but all the stuff's there for it. So the hope is that we can take all the interior and the glass, electric windows, sunroof, mirrors, all that from this one, transfer them onto this one. But before we can do any of that, we need to do all the welding on this one. And in order to assess the damage, because I guarantee there will be rust, it is Italian, it is from the 80s, we're going to have to take all the panels off. So this episode we're going to take the tailgate, the doors, the front wings, the bonnet, everything off this car. We'll strip it. We're going to have to repair the door bottoms, and we might have to do a little bit of repair at the corners of the tailgate. We've definitely got repairs to do in the corners of the windscreen, and let's see what structural welding we have to do on the actual body shell itself. Okay, using a snow shovel, which is the correct tool to open the tailgate. I've got that propped open because I've noticed there's this corrosion here, which I suspect goes way deeper inside there. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to pop the bumper off. There's a couple of bolts in the back here. These, release these. Same on the other side, and then we'll just slide the bumper back. And I have a feeling that corrosion is probably going to go all the way down. Little bits like this where you can tell this is an Italian car, not a German car, because the bolt at the bottom is behind this. Remember, luckily we've got a bit of a wobble on the extender bar, so I can get on it. But yeah, if this was a German car, you'd be straight on that with no bother. And if it was French, you wouldn't be able to get to it without taking, I don't know, about 18 different bits of the car off. Anyway, let's carry on. Back at this side, now I'm doing these two bolts at this side. Doesn't look as bad in that the taillight aperture is still intact. However, looking in the corner of the boot floor, we've definitely got some rust repairs to do in this corner and inside this rear arch. I'm not too worried about this. This is one of the best I've seen on a Lancia Delta, and they all go around here. I'm kind of struggling already with this nut here. I'm going to give you a tip now. If you do this type of thing, I assume if you're watching, you probably do this type of thing. This stuff, Bulldog BDX, this is a penetrating fluid, releasing agent. It's a surface spray, as opposed to one that you may have used in the past, which is literally a water dispersant. That's why it's called that. This stuff will get into all the threads, make this an awful lot easier. So I'm going to soak these in BDX, give them a couple of minutes, and then we'll get this bumper whipped off and probably be horrified by what's behind it. There we go, right. Yeah, this stuff really does make all the difference. I'll stick a link in the description as to where you can speak to the guy who gets this stuff, and it makes all the difference. Yeah, that's that. One more to do. This bumper's off. Okay, this is the stage. It's not set up. I haven't seen behind here yet, so you're seeing it in real time as I see it as well. All the bolts are out, so we'll just slide the bumper away. I'm prepared for horrors, but actually, I can see it's burst around here. But that is, believe me, for a Lancia Delta, that is not bad at all. There's a couple of bits of burst on it. Oh, look, got my hand. There as well. I'm not even sure that's probably holding. Sort of. On previous Deltas I've had, all along here has burst. So actually, that is not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Obviously, we've got some repairs to do, particularly in this rear corner here. So the bumper fully off now. We can have a quick look underneath. And this that you're seeing here, all of these multi-links on the rear suspension, how fancy that rear suspension setup is. Obviously, you're looking at it in the dark here. We will, in a future episode, strip it down and we'll show you it in more detail. But the intricacy of this rear suspension is part of the reason why this car, the Lancia Delta, holds records in rallying which still haven't been beaten to this day. Oh, this is fun. I don't know how much you can hear this, but listen, I tip the bumper like that. Crash bar's full of water. How do we get that out then? This side of the car. So this is the driver's side, or the offside wheel arch. And you can see what happens is there's three pieces of metal come down. So there's this piece here, which is like the inner body section here, comes down the middle. There's then the wheel arch tub, which is folded that way, and then there's the inner wheel arch panel here, which is folded that way. They all come together, and then they're all pinch welded all the way along at regular intervals. What happens as the car's driven and the cornering forces of the car begins to pull the pieces of metal just apart ever so slightly, to the point where the paint will start to break down, the anti-rust protection will start to break down, and of course underneath there is the rear wheel, which is obviously always spinning and throwing all of the road dirt up into the wheel arch area. And so eventually what happens is that the entire I think we might need a bit of oil on them hinges, is that the entire arch starts to blister and burst because these pieces of metal all come apart from each other. The water gets in and it begins to split the body shell into bits. Now, this Delta is far from the worst one I've seen. I've had many others that have been a lot worse than that. In fact, I suspect when I come to strip that silver one down, we'll have an inspector that. Guarantee that'll be worse. But quite common, and the way that I like to repair them, rather than create three pieces of metal that are going to do the same, is actually to plate them along the top of the seam there. So what the intention is to do is to put a sort of 2-inch wide plate over the top of all of this, so that I can actually get then inside the arch and grind the wheel arch side away, so that we actually have a much stronger meeting of the seams here. So now we've got that lovely water feature of a bumper off, well, the next thing we're going to do is take off the tailgate. Now this tailgate is actually remarkably good for a Lancia Delta. They always burst along the bottom of here, and if you don't believe me, let me show you the one on the silver one. Would you just look at the state of that? Literally coming to bits. And on camera I don't think this is as bad as it actually looks in real life. But as you can see on this red one, there is some spots in the corner here before we put the glass in that we need to repair this section here. And then we've got the same to do on the other side. Would you look at the engineering work that's gone into this hinge? It's not just a hinge. Look, it's fully cantilevered. It's got circlips in there. There's 2 mounting points, and then on the other side you've got the 2 bolts here that hold this piece in, and then you've got this arm here and this arm here, so that when it opens it actually moves around like that. Again, you wouldn't get this on a German car. Okay, tailgate and bumpers off. The back end of the car is where a lot of these rust, and actually this is not too bad at all. You can see we've obviously got some repairs to make around here and in the usual Delta places, but I have seen much worse. I've owned much worse Deltas than this. Next job, get these doors off. You can see the door bottoms have rusted out, although the actual frames of the doors aren't too bad at all. You can see they've rusted through there though. And for some reason on this one, somebody's cut the slice out of this, so I'm going to need to weld that back to there before I put any of the window mechanisms into the car. I don't know why they've done that. Weird. So door hinges, there's just these 2 bolts at the top, 2 bolts at the bottom, and then the check strap to sort out, and the door should come off. After failing to get anything onto them hinge bolts on the inside, decide to close the door, and we'll go for these bolts on the hinges instead. So the rear door is now off the car. Just knock the pin out that check strap to get it off, and the front door is still attached because we're going to have to do the check strap, but the bolts, that method for turning it off with these bolts seems to be much more effective. The bolts are hidden behind the front wing, and this is where some of the decidedly checkered history of this car comes into play, because the wings, they're actually bolted on the scuttle with these little corner pieces, because the bonnet itself isn't actually physically attached to the car other than by those little bonnet pins that you can see at the end, and then the corner's a bit tucked underneath these, so these are going to have to come off, and the front wings are going to come off to get the front doors off. Let's unbolt these and we'll see what's behind them, Well, that's it, the last one's out, and you can see it in real time with me as we take a peek under there. I don't think that's actually too bad. I mean, we've still got the other side to do, but we shall see. Oh, that's a fun little thing. That is a sweetie tin with the wiring loom coming out the side of it, because that's got the ECU in it. Right, these bonnet pins are released, so let's lift the bonnet and see if we can get that put to one side. There we go, with the bonnet off. This is the best bit. Lampredi twin cam turbocharged engine. I have to say, this front corner definitely looks like it's going to need some work, because this scuttle panel is absolutely rotten. So I think I'm going to have to try and take this wing off and see what lies beneath. This is interesting. It's only got a handful of these screws, that machine screws that go through the top of the wing. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Look at the length of them. Front wing unbolted and moved, swung out the way. This might not actually be as bad as it looks. Obviously it's very corroded, but there doesn't seem to be many holes other than this area here, and then obviously this piece that we could see before we took the front wing off. But the actual part that the wing bolts to does actually seem a lot more solid inner wing than I thought it was going to be, which is a pleasant surprise. The top of the wing was a bit of a mess as well, but we can fix it. I don't think I'm going to get that wing off because there's a bolt hidden inside, so I'm going to try and get the door off, front door, with the bolts that I couldn't get on the rear door. So I'll show you what I'm going to do. So these bolts here couldn't get on the rear door with the spanner, but I think I can get on them on the front door. So I'll take the front door off and leave the hinges in place, and then see if I can get the front wing off. This is going to be quite slow going, because I can get the spanner on about there, get that much of a turn. Unlike if I could get a ratchet in there. The front door looks worse than the rear door as well, so there's definitely more repairs to do in this, but we'll get this off. It is starting to move. We'll knock that pin through for the check strap, and then we get this door off, and we'll see what we need to do to get that front wing off, and then that'll be this entire side of the car stripped. And with the door off, we can see there's one more bolt holding the wing in there, which is a little Allen key. I think it's A4, I suspect. There we go. Right, let's get then with this wing off and see what lies beneath. It hasn't, to be fair to it, been so that scary so far, although we have only stripped one side. So there we go, tailgate, both doors, bumpers and front wing off, and the bonnet off. And you know what, it is not actually that bad. You can see we've got some repairs to make down the front, down here. We've got some repairs to make in that corner. We've got some repairs to make around the scuttle panel in the bottom of the corner of the windscreen. But other than that, surprisingly sound. So with one side stripped, let's do the other side. We'll pull the other two doors and the front wing on that side off. Now, a lot of cars, you'll tend to find that the passenger side is the one that gets the most rust, because that's the one that was splashed up and down in the gutters as the car's in use on the road. But I don't think this is any car, and I've got a feeling that the driver's side's actually going to be worse. So let's rip the doors off and we'll go and find out what that side looks like. Okay, driver's front door. There's an impressive piece of corrosion on this B-post here. That's going to be fun to put right. I don't think it's hauled anywhere, but yeah, that's a mess. With that door off, you can see the bottom corner of this sill has burst from corrosion, and that goes quite a way down there, so we're going to have to replace sections of this sill, or possibly a full sill. Luckily though, the A-post itself, which is the hinge panel where the door attaches to, does not look bad. So next we'll take this wing off, and then we see what it's like inside that. This is the last panel that needs to come off this car. All the bolts are out of this front wing, which is the last panel to come off the car. What we're going to do is just run a knife along this bead of sealer, and then we'll pull the front wing off the car, see what's underneath. There we go, there's the last panel of the car, and I think this is probably the most rusty, crusty area. This sill, which corrosion extends to here. We've then got some surface which, when we rub it down, is potentially hold more. There's a little bit here, a bit round here, the foot of the B post. Obviously there's that on the B post there, and then under here is quite sound until you get to about here. See, we've got some corrosion there which extends up the corner of under this box section here. So we have got a bit of welding to do on this side of the body shell more than on the other. So here we are at the end of the first episode. We've got the car stripped. We've discovered some nasty rusty areas, some areas that are not too bad at all, and we've got all the panels off the car. So join us next time when we begin welding up all the corrosion and rust that's on this car, and seeing if we can build my dream lottery winner's car out of what we have sat here. Thank you for watching.